Welcome to latest News Blaster. Dwayne "Dog" the Bounty Hunter Chapman, the gravel-voiced larger-than-life figure who once ruled reality television with his relentless pursuit of fugitives and his unmistakable warrior-meets-mentor persona, has become the focus of renewed public curiosity, as fans around the world ask the same painful question: what is really happening behind the scenes, and why has Dog stepped back from the spotlight he once dominated? For years, Dog symbolized the raw, unpolished energy of street justice, a man who chased criminals with a ferocity matched only by the compassion he offered once the cuffs were on. But in recent months, a quieter, more withdrawn version of him has emerged, leaving audiences stunned, speculating, and searching for answers. The truth, however, is not a single shocking moment or one explosive revelation. It is a slow, emotional unraveling, shaped by personal loss, the crushing weight of public expectations, the brutal reality of aging in a physically demanding profession, and the unpredictable shadows cast by fame. Dog's hidden struggle began long before fans noticed his absence. When his wife Beth Chapman passed away in 2019 after her long battle with cancer, it left a hollow space in Dog's life that no camera, no chase, and no adrenaline-filled capture could ever refill. Beth had been more than a partner on screen. She was the strategist behind the scenes, the emotional anchor, and the one person who understood the unique burden of being Dog. Without her, Dog wasn't just grieving a spouse, he was grieving the foundation of his identity. Though he attempted to push forward, filming new shows and making public appearances, insiders close to him revealed that the grief never fully settled. Instead, it became a quiet undertow pulling at him, intensifying during unguarded moments, especially when he revisited locations or cases tied to memories they once shared. As cameras rolled, viewers saw the iconic sunglasses, the tactical vest, and the confidence, but they did not see the nights he wrestled with insomnia, replayed old episodes just to hear Beth's voice, or avoided certain areas because the memories cut too deep. And while grief formed the emotional storm, the physical reality of Dog's profession grew increasingly demanding. Chasing down fugitives is not a job that gets easier with age. Over decades of adrenaline-charged pursuits, Dog pushed his body beyond limits most people never experience. Running through rough terrain, wrestling suspects twice his size, inhaling dust, smoke, exhaust, and urban pollution, enduring injuries from scuffles and living on little sleep while traveling non-stop. That lifestyle leaves scars. Sources connected to the production crews from his various shows have said that during tapings, Dog would sometimes need longer breaks, occasionally pause mid-pursuit to catch his breath, or push through pain without acknowledging it. Even though he insisted on doing everything himself, no stunt doubles, no shortcuts, many around him worried he was forcing himself to perform at a level his body could no longer sustain. But Dog, fiercely proud and determined, hated admitting vulnerability. As the years caught up and the show schedules became brutal, a hidden internal conflict grew stronger. The man who built an empire by never backing down was finally confronting the reality that time does not bow to toughness. Beyond physical strain, Dog also faced a changing industry. When his original series exploded onto television, audiences were captivated by the raw authenticity. No filters, no glamour, just real-world captures and tough love redemption arcs. But today's media landscape is different. Streaming platforms demand faster content, higher production value, bigger drama, and non-stop engagement across social media. Dog's brand, once unmatched, now faced pressure to evolve in ways that didn't align with his personality. Producers wanted more intensity, more conflict, more made-for-viral moments, but Dog has always been Dog, unpolished, unfiltered, and deeply rooted in old-school principles. That tension created creative disagreements behind the scenes. Some producers pushed for scripted elements he refused to accept. Others wanted him to participate in digital-only spin-offs, while Dog felt uncomfortable diluting his legacy with gimmicks. These creative clashes, though rarely publicized, added another layer of stress. Dog, who built his career on authenticity, struggled with the idea of performing for algorithms rather than audiences. On top of that, public scrutiny intensified. Every celebrity deals with criticism, but Dog's life has always been magnified. his arrests from decades ago resurfacing repeatedly, family disputes turned into headlines, comments taken out of context, and social media storms erupting over moments that barely reflected reality. Even as he tried to move forward, old controversies were weaponized against him, fueling emotional exhaustion. Friends say Dog often felt like no matter how much good he tried to do, rehabilitating fugitives, supporting victims, donating to communities, comforting families, some part of the world was always waiting to twist the narrative. This constant pressure pushed him into a quieter, more guarded version of himself. Instead of engaging with online chatter or fighting back through interviews, he withdrew, choosing to conserve his energy rather than battle a digital world that thrives on outrage. But perhaps the most hidden struggle was internal. Dog began questioning what his life should look like now. Without Beth guiding decisions, without the same physical stamina he once relied on, and without the TV world operating as it used to, Dog found himself in a rare crossroads moment, not a breakdown, but a reckoning. For decades he defined himself as the unstoppable bounty hunter who chased danger for a living. But now he was asking deeper questions. Could he slow down without feeling like he was abandoning his mission? Could he pursue justice in new ways, through advocacy, mentorship, or speaking, without losing the essence of who he was? Could he grieve openly without disappointing fans who expected strength? Those close to him say Dog didn't disappear. He simply stepped back to rebuild, reevaluate, and breathe. This wasn't scandal, it was survival. This wasn't retreat, it was recalibration. And this wasn't weakness, it was wisdom earned through decades of battles, both physical and emotional. Despite everything, Dog has not given up. In fact, recent appearances show sparks of his old fire, attending events more selectively, focusing on meaningful projects, leaning into his faith, supporting charitable causes, and spending more time with family. He has hinted at launching new ventures centered around storytelling, justice awareness, and legacy preservation, rather than full-scale physical pursuits. Many believe Dog is preparing for a second chapter, one where he uses his voice more than his fists, his experience more than his stamina, and his influence more than his chase scenes. Fans once watched him run down fugitives. Now they may watch him confront deeper societal issues: addiction, criminal reform, youth mentorship, victim advocacy. It may not look like the Dog they grew up with, but it will be a Dog shaped by everything he has endured, survived, and learned. And maybe, just maybe, this new version is the one he was meant to become. So when fans ask, what really happened to Dog the Bounty Hunter? The real answer is both heartbreaking and hopeful. He has been fighting battles no camera ever captured, grieving losses no audience could ever measure, rebuilding a life reshaped by time, and searching for a purpose that honors both who he was and who he must become. Dog's hidden struggle is not a scandal. It is a story of resilience, a story of endurance, a story of a man stepping out of the storm to reclaim his strength in a different form. And as he quietly prepares for his next move, one thing remains unchanged. Dog is still here, still standing, and still fighting, just in a new chapter the world is only beginning to understand.